So what I know is we're going to look at today, as we continue on defining our theme for the year, as it says on the cover of your program, is it's the year of living in beauty, bliss, and bounty. And so the last couple of weeks I focused on bliss and beauty. Today I'm going to focus on the consciousness of bounty. Now many times as soon as we heard of the word bounty, we immediately want to equate it or equal it to what? Money. But really it has nothing to do with money. It encompasses it. It's one of the subjects that can fall, or the topics that can fall under the umbrella of bounty. But what bounty really is, it is about each of us identifying that wellspring or infinite source of supply that dwells deeply within us, that when we tap into it, there is an infinite flow of substance that can pour from us, reaching outside of our individual self and allow us to become generous spirits of good. That's what bounty is. And what we want to look at, and why we're choosing the topic, and why I chose the topic or theme for the year of beauty, bliss, and bounty, is because we want to look at and examine carefully the importance of being able to sustain those three powerful principles in our life on a daily basis. And if we can sustain those three concepts, 5 minutes at a time, 10 minutes at a time, 15 minutes at a time, we will see continued empowered shifts that are remarkable in our life of how we approach our life, how we approach each other, how we approach our finances, how we approach our physical health, how we approach our emotional wounds and hurts that we haven't healed. And today I'm going to share with you further evidence neurologically through the brain of what happens when we do hold those positive statements that science is revealing to us now. After New Thought has been teaching it for 200 plus years, they are proving how accurate New Thought is. In fact, the teachings of New Thought are the only ones that are being really proven, or are the main ones that are being proven of the effects that it has on the brain as far as neurologically. Science is proving that what we are doing in New Thought is beneficial to us. So thank God they're validating it. Because we didn't know it before then. But you see, now we can't question it, because it's like, if 2 plus 2 is 4, how do you keep questioning it? When the science is saying this is what is so, and we can use it, that's what the greatness is. What science is doing is it is enhancing our understanding of our spirituality. It's explaining it. That's all. Not changing it. It's just explaining it. So, as we delve into the topic of bounty and the consciousness of it, we will explore today how each of us and what it takes for each of us to increase our awareness of that inner wellspring that is deep within us. So the question that I ask you is, are you a river of blessings in your life, or a puddle that is drying in the sun? Are you a bounty of blessings? Or are you that small little puddle that's afraid to share your bounty with the world around you? And we've actually had some sun here to be drying in. Hasn't it been wonderful? So to define what bounty is to perceive bounty as plenty, as abundance. Not referring to money, it's just as plenty, as abundance. And to live your life from love as opposed to scarcity is a definite booster. A plentiful or generous supply, a generosity of living. Learning to give from the bounty that God has bestowed upon you. If you look back in your life, have you had an individual, or maybe been blessed with more than one individual, that was just always generous? Who I think of immediately when I was writing this talk in that last couple days is my grandma. My grandma is, of the 4 of my grandparents, my grandma on my dad's side was the loving one. You know how sometimes you have, in your 4 sets of grandparents, one was really loving? That's how it was for me. The other ones, But my grandma, as I've shared before, was born here in Victoria. She grew up outside of Duncan. She actually operated in 1916. She worked for the phone company as one of those switchboard operators. I heard the story many times, pulling the plug, and sometimes she'd listen to what they were saying and all this sort of. Every time we would sit down in a restaurant, we would go out to a restaurant. You know what she always said to me? You can have anything you want on the menu. Didn't matter where we were. Didn't matter whether we were in a restaurant with pictures on the menu, or as oftentimes in restaurants that didn't have prices in them. You can have anything you want, was always her statement. And I've always carried that into life as the metaphor for life, is really we have this bountiful universe in front of us and we can have anything we want. But what we've done is we've kind of dirtied up our perception or our view or our belief in that, and so we don't really believe that we can have anything we want. So we live from this scarcity perception. That we can't have enough friends, that we can't have enough goodness in our life, not enough love, that how many of us have spent time and energy on buying another person's love, or other people have spent time buying our love. How many parents try to buy their children's love? It's a constant craving. Have you ever been able to buy your children's love, buy it enough? I look at my sister. My sister spent a lot of time trying to buy my niece's love. And how I knew that is you walk into her room when my niece was growing up. She's only 8 years younger than I. My sister's 14 years older than I am. So that's why there's so close to my niece. Is it would look like she could open up her own toy store. So what she attempted to do was to buy her love by buying lots of toys and gifts. The part that was missing was looking her daughter in the eye or wrapping her arms around and saying, I love you just the way you are. See, that bountiful and generous spirit is what we request and desire the most from each other. And that's what we want to look at to enhance within our own being is, can we be a little more loving? Do we have a little more wellspring to tap into inside of us to bring forth a little more joy, a little more kindness, a little more compassion, a little more generosity with our time, with our willingness to just listen to another person? Generosity calls on us. It requires us. It yearns for us to go beyond our individual self. It diminishes our willingness to see ourselves as self-centered, egotistic beings. And being that egotistic, self-centered person means that we're selfish, self-centered, insensitive, and we have a lack of consideration for others, even when our egos try to co-opt and take credit for our generosity, attempting to inflate who we are by this action. True generosity, by definition, involves giving to others beyond what is required of us. And that outstrips any self-centered motives that we might harbor in the process. And yesterday, Karen Adams, sitting up here in front, sent me this wonderful video collage, or this wonderful video or picture series. I think there's 9 pictures that absolutely states that. And I won't even need to say anything. True generosity, just listen to this one more time. True generosity, by definition, involves giving to others beyond what is required of us. And that outstrips any self-centered motives we might harbor in the process. Here's an example of giving beyond ourselves. True? You see what it means to give beyond ourselves? The egotistical, self-centered person stands here and goes, oh, you got it on the edge of the bridge, or on the bridge looking at, oh, the water's in the dog. Somebody needs to come and do something. Going beyond. Oh, that's a big step there. Going beyond. That's what it means to live from a bountiful consciousness, knowing that, wow, I have something here that I can give, that will touch, that will make a difference. That's what it means to live from that place of bounty, to expand that consciousness, to go beyond. And I love this statement of faith, of this quote from Eric Butterworth. If you've never heard of his name, he's considered a legend in the Unity, the metaphysical movement of New Thought, of Unity. It's the largest denomination of New Thought. Eric Butterworth wrote 16 different books, including Spiritual Economics, which is considered like a Bible on economics, a spiritual connection. to our finances. And one of his quotes that comes from spiritual economics reads like this. And we're going to put it up on the screen so you can see it with me.